All right, so this is Sam Taggart here, and I'm going to talk today about TCR, that stands for Test, Commit, and Revert. You may have heard of this before. Kent Beck, I believe, is the one who made it popular. And the idea is you've got some tests for your code already, and you can do it for TDD or refactoring. We're going to use refactoring, we're going to do the Gilded-Rose. So I've got a test, and I want to refactor the Gilded-Rose. And so I'm going to make a small change, then I'm going to run this TCR script, test, commit, or revert. And what it's going to do is it's going to run my unit tests. And if they pass, it just immediately makes a commit for me. And if it doesn't pass, it immediately throws everything away and reverts it. So that's the idea. Now I'm on the Gilded-Rose Kata. I checked out the TCR branch, and which I just uploaded, and now I've created a new branch called Trying TCR, just like as a demo branch. So let's see how this works. So here's the TCR.vi. It's part of the project, so TCR. And if we go here, I'm grabbing the test. I'm running the LUnit tests. I have to reset this flag just to reset it because LUnit sets that. That's not terribly important. I grab the active project. I save everything in the project. So if there's any VIs that I hadn't saved, it saves, takes the project path, sets that as a working directory, and then I do one of two things. I either get add, so I add any files that I've added and make a commit that says it worked, or I reset hard and this git clean removes any files that may have gotten added or directories. That's it. And then here, all I do is this is just notification. And we'll see how it works. And there's also some stuff in here too for if it does fail, it looks at the application version. So if it's 26 or later, it will automatically prompt you to reload the project. If it's 25 or earlier, it won't. So it'll close it for you, and then you can click a button and take care of that. So we'll see. Okay. So reminder of what the Gilded-Rose is. Right, we've got this. We're selling items, and we need to add a new item type, and we've got this giant nested thing based on each item. So we look at each item, and we're calculating some new inventory values. So every item has a name, a quality, and a sell by date. And we are going through, and this is simulating 1 day. So after 1 day, the sell-in date goes down by 1, the quality goes down by 1, except there's all these special cases for different things. And that's what all these gigantic case structures are. And they're deeply nested. And it's just kind of ugly. And we can make it much simpler. Right? And eventually we probably want to go to where each item, instead of checking the item name, we have different classes for the items. We do dynamic dispatch and all of that. And that's kind of where we're heading. But first we just got to clean up a bunch of this logic. This branch comes off of the test branch. So I already have a test branch. So I have this test me VI, which is what I'm running through the test, and it's just a wrapper. All it simply does is creates an item, creates an array of that one item, passes it off to the object, runs the update quality, and then pulls all the data back out. So it makes it very easy to test. But I'm using a combination approvals test. If you haven't seen those, if you're watching this, you probably have. This is the VI I'm testing. It's a reference to it. It's going to run this VI, but before it does, it's going to set the name to age degree, the sell into 2, and the quality to 2, and it'll run it and capture the data. Then it's going to do age degree, sell into quality -1, and then 0, quality 1, 2, right? It's going to go through and calculate all those possible combinations and run it and capture the output, and that output is going to end up in, if I go to the project right here, in an approved.txt file. And you can see there's 256 lines, I believe, in this file. And these are all the possible things. Right, so it's running it for each of these combinations. It's checking the output and making sure that the outputs match what's in this approved file. If it doesn't, the test will fail. All right, so let's just do a couple things. One, let's just, without making any changes, just run the TCR script to begin with, and we should get a message that says all the tests pass. It does take a few seconds. It helps if you close the test me VI, because and actually the VI you're testing itself, because it goes kind of slow if you don't. But it passed. So the test passed. It did not make a commit because I got something back from the command line that either indicated there was either a get error or no changes to commit. So more than likely, I didn't change anything. No changes to commit. We're good. Okay, so I've done that. Now, how do I know that this TCR thing actually works? Let's try something. If I just go to this test me, now this is, I'm just going to change this. So if I delete this, right, this quality out is always going to be 0. And so that's going to break my test, right? Because I'm going to run it and all the other values will match, but this quality out's always going to be 0. And at some point, it's supposed to be something else. And so it'll fail. So let's run this TCR just to see what happens when that happens. Right, and I'm going to save this, and I'm actually going to close this because I don't want it open because I want this to actually run at a decent speed. So I'm going to do that. Everything's closed. I'm going to run it. And it's running. And I should get a message that says the test failed, and then it should revert it in Git. Test failed. LabVIEW should prompt you to reload if it didn't. Close the project and reload now. And because I'm in LabVIEW 2026, I get this message. If you're in the LabVIEW 2025 or earlier, when you click OK there, it should just close it anyway, and you have to manually reload it. This, I can click the button and reload it. And it's reloading the project for me. And you'll see it reset that BI back to where it was. With text-based languages, this is a much quicker process, but it's not too bad. Hopefully you don't have a giant project that you're using this on where like it takes 10 minutes to load, because that would just kind of suck. And that sucks for tons of other reasons besides just doing this TCR stuff. So that's how it works. Let's make a change and see what happens when it passes. Hopefully I do something and make it pass. So let's see what's an easy change I can make. And these things are really bad. So I can remove this not and flop this, right? That's an easy one. So if it's not saying if it's not equal to that, do this. What if it's equal? Or actually, a better way to do it would be to take this name and drive it off the name. So when it equals that, or it's not equal to that. So this is the default case. So let's do that. Let's make this case default. Oops. Let's do this. This is a default case. So it's not equal to that. That's a default case. So let's change this. That's the default case. In this case, the false case is going to be this. There we go. That's not that complicated of a change. Right? But we got a test, so we can prove that that actually worked. Right? So now I save this. I will close this because I don't want to open when this TCR is running because it's going to take forever. So I'll run my TCR and see what happened. It should say it passed. Hey, it passed. Cool, passed, commit successful. So now if I go here and I type in get graph, what did it do? It created a commit for me that said worked. That's awesome. So I can keep going and do all this. And the idea is you do this TCR cycle several times, end up with a bunch of commits that say they worked, and maybe you throw some stuff away in between. The nice thing is you spend no time debugging. It's just it either works or it doesn't. If it doesn't, you try again. And then at the end, you would then push that. So you're working on doing a few refactorings. Maybe you chain a bunch of them together. You get to a good spot. You're like, okay, I did 4 or 5. I'm happy with what I did. Then you can go back and you can do get rebase origin / wherever your TCR, whatever your last one you pushed. And then you can go in there and just squash all those together into one commit and write a nice commit message and everybody's happy. It's designed to get you into that loop of like, experiment, try something, see if it worked. Experiment, try something, see if it worked. If it didn't work, try a different experiment. And it works really, really well. I'm going to do one more just to like show it, and then I will show you how to squash them too. So update quality is what I was changing. So there I changed that. What's another easy one to change? I can change this one right here. I can do the same thing right here, right? So I can, true is the default case. So I'm going to drive this off of this, that's the default case. So make this case default. And the other case will be the oh, hey. See there, I screwed up. Right? So what happens if I screw up? Okay, so I tried that. I screwed up. Right? Let me see what happens when I screw up. Well, it's not the end of the world if you're making really small changes. Because I tried that. I got a typo. Oh no. It's a really small change. And I probably should have closed that before I ran it because it'll run it even faster. But let's just say, hey, okay, it failed. It reverted back. Now I've got to reload my project. Kind of a pain. But now I can reload the project and I can do all that again. And I will. So note when you're typing and pasting stuff in there, if it has space, make sure you put the quotes on before you hit enter, because otherwise it will break it apart like that. And if you're not paying attention, you might not catch that. So that's the one we changed the first time. We're going to change this one. Again, delete this. The true case is the default case. The case with everything in it. So this is going to be default. And the false case is going to be this. Cool. Hit enter. Now that looks right. And now if I do TCR, it should work. Right? So now I can do my TCR. I can close that window. Now I can run TCR, but first I'm going to close that. And close that just to be safe. TCR. Hey, passed. Commit successful. That's easy. And now I'm going to say get rebase -I. I'm going to rebase all the back to the last one that's on the server, right? Like this one right here that says origin /TCR, TCR. So I'm just going to rebase /I TCR. So it's going to, oh, actually, first let me just do get graph just so you can see that it did add one. Okay, so now I've got two that say worked, and I want to squash those into one that says remove some convoluted logic. That's what I'm going to say. So get rebase -I. And I'm just going to rebase onto TCR. So it's going to grab those two commits. I go to this one. I do delete that word. Insert S to squash it. Keep the top one as picked. Go WQ. And now I've got my two messages here. I'm going to delete these. Removed. Remove some unnecessary Boolean logic. And drove the case structure directly from the string. If anybody wants to see more of what's going on, they can use LabVIEW Compare to see that. And I'm going to save that. And now I'm going to do get graph. And now you can see, right? I started here at this origin /TCR. Here's the branch that I'm on. I removed some unnecessary Boolean logic. And we're right back where we're supposed to be. Oh, you know what? If you do that rebase with LabVIEW open every time it goes through the different steps, it's going to cause you problems. I'm going to ignore this because we're right back where we were and everything is good. So if I look at this, this is right where we want to be. All right, maybe don't do that. Maybe you do have to exit before you do that rebase. But let's see what it's got. I think this should be where I wanted it to be. So that one's driven off of the name, and that one's driven directly off of the name. And then eventually we're going to, like, you know, combine all these to have it out here. And make the main case structure, you know, replace everything inside the for loop with the one case structure that's driven by the name, and then we create classes and do dynamic dispatch, where the dynamic dispatch VI replaces each case of the case structure based on the name of the item. That is the end goal. Okay, cool. I feel like I've rambled a bit. Anyway, if you want to try out TCR test commit revert, right there's how you do it in LabVIEW. You can take that script. This VI is very easy. It's not super complicated. You can copy this and put it in your own project. You could replace your LUnit test case here, or also I probably could have just grabbed the path to the project and wired that into the LUnit, and it probably would have found all the tests in the project, and maybe I'll update that in the future. For now, oh, and this, if you're wondering what this is just creating a dummy text file for the report. It requires a report path, but we don't care about the report because all we really care about is did it pass or fail. So you run it. So basically the idea is you make a test, or sorry, you make a change, you run the tests, it either passes or fails. If it passes, great, commit it. If it fails, revert it, start over. And it's designed to encourage you to take really small steps and experiment. So anyway, that's it.